explain why the volume was low yesterday, actually. Wow. I did not check that at all. You're pathetic. I don't need to smile, I'm good. My physical appearance does not exclaim how I am, so I'm good. And plus, if I were to smile right now, it wouldn't be a real one. There's no reason to fake how you are. That's more toxic than just being who you are authentically. In this modern age, new age spirituality bullshit, they trick you into doing that. Sure, it sends a dopamine response, but you keep doing that, guess what happens to your dopamine receptor? It burns out because it's not actually being naturally replenished, it's artificially being replenished. That's the whole issue with things. So don't feel stressed about someone not smiling. Let the authenticity, like authentic, just be there. If you're uncomfortable with authenticity, then that's the thing that you got to work on the most. I got you, Phoenix. You know how we are over here. We're flexible with stuff like that. It's perfectly fine. I got you. You're welcome in, Patrice. And that's fine, no worries. Take care and have fun at work. Well, try to have fun at work. Do your best to have fun at work, you know what I mean? But I appreciate what you said. I love you as well, Phoenix. You know how we do it over here. You know how we are. What'd you want the card pull on, though? Let me think of a way to get that within tarot, because you won't really get anything of why people are being like that way to you, well, around you in that sense, because that's not, you know, what tarot is about. But I got you. The best thing to do when people start acting weird around you is just know that you and your own bioenergetic field is changing. And your bioenergetic field disturbs others. And disturbing doesn't mean anything bad. Disturbing just means it's causing a wave, it's causing a ruckus within that wave. It's just changing that form in some way. It's coming in, it's intercepting it in that sense. So, you know, don't let that make you think it's a you thing. People just, it's the same reason why people walk up to someone like, I don't like you or I like you. It's just based off of that field. You know. But right now, with your first card is Empress Upright. Empress Upright is talking a lot about just new things being birthed, needing to nurture, and being able to see the beauty in all. Allow things to be seen as change rather than trying to define it down to actions of people. You know, allow yourself to see and be aware of the change that's happening, but don't rationalize it. Don't accept it as that being like a threat or a danger or even a small concern in that matter. Just allow yourself to know that things are changing and things are moving, and continue to push forward in that direction that you're actually desiring it to move in. Those that will be energetically repulsive, to say it in a term that I haven't used before yet, don't know why that came out like that, but for the ones that are being energetically repulsive, take that as a warning to back away from those individuals and kind of see what they were showing in that sense. What irked you in that sense, and why did it irk you? If it was simply just like an energetic thing, you know, move on with it, just allow that to exist. But if it brings up a specific memory or a thought or something, you know, take like a little look into it and see what's going on. But other than that, just come connected with yourself and see that this change is happening, that something new is about to be birthed. and take advantage of that boon. That doesn't necessarily mean taking action, because the Empress is again that feminine energy of receiving. Allow yourself to just receive ideas. Oh, I would like for this to happen. I would like for that to happen. You can say you would not like that specific person to be there, but make sure that the intent is that that energy doesn't follow you. Because a lot of people say, I don't want to be around that person, and that person disappears, and guess who comes along? They're replacement, quote unquote, someone that might be 2 times worse or the same as them, right? Because that's what happens. You have to get specific enough with it to be like, that energy, I don't need that connection anymore. I don't need that part of my shadow mirrored to me anymore. Let me move past those things, in that sense. Get a lot more specific with those things. Because again, as time's going to go on, things are going to get a lot more weirder, because people are going to realize that what they were in was an illusion. What they were in was just a manipulation of what they thought they were actually doing. People are going to be a lot less powerful, because their power was all based off of a lie, and that system that was a lie is crumbling, so it's no longer going to have the energetic response anymore. It's going to be really funny to see a bunch of people fall down that hole. Not funny as in like haha, but funny as in like, why didn't you realize this kind of sooner? Because the signs are very prevalent, especially with all the chaos that's going on out in the physical world. I didn't even know that Syria and Iran are bombing each other, but that's apparently happening. I stay out of that loop because I don't want to get dragged into that toxicity, but I just found out today. So all that, just don't pay attention to that crazy shit. Of course, it's important, and concerns and love and prayers to all, but don't allow it to be something that dictates how you're gonna move. And the other one card is the Four of Swords upright. Just rest until that crowning thought comes, because buried beneath you in your resting area is a crowned golden thought. That Ace of Swords is there, that good thought, that crowned thought's there. These other 3 swords, this is the Three of Swords, same as the Three of Cups is distraction. The Three of Swords distraction is distraction to ignore the heart. So take time to rest, take time to know that what you're wanting and what you're desiring and how you're wanting to move forward is coming to you. You're just needing to connect to yourself and rest. Time will do its thing. The earth will do its thing. Matter will do its thing. You just need to stay stable in what you need to do. While everything else changes, you need to be the one standing still. But I got you. That's the reading. Just allow yourself to know that, a new path is arriving, that a new way of moving is coming. And take that advantage. You know, you might not think that you know what's best for you, but we all do. It's about going into that silence. That's the hermit mode. It's about retreating into self and drawing the information up, not about trying to search for it externally. So just be sure to rest. And as well, pay attention to dreams. You may be getting dreams of signs of things. you know Certain parts of your dreams may stick to you more than others. Kind of look into them. What does that mean? What does this person show me? What did this person make me feel? If it's a person, what does the environment make me feel? How did the dream make me feel when I was in it versus when I woke up? And just pay attention to that to receive answers as well. I know for me, I've been having a bunch of vivid dreams. I've been able to remember a lot of my dreams, and it's been very interesting. Not really like bad, but just very, very interesting, because like normally I don't remember the types of dreams that I've been having, but I've been remembering them all. So I've been taking them into huge consideration, pulling cards, looking into the deeper meanings of it, trying to figure out what is fully going on in that realm. Stress. Stress can really, really do that. Eating before sleep can also do that as well. Um, there's mugwort tea that you can have that can help. Um, Taking certain like mushrooms, like lion maiden mushroom, can help. Ashwagandha can help. I don't even know how to say that one. But I have this thing. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. But it also supports like brain function. Ginkgo biblio. Dude, it sounds so fucking fake. Ginkgo biblio. Biloba. Ginkgo biloba. I don't know how to fucking say these words, dude. My eyes look at them and I just get I just get confused. But that one helps improve brain function and blood flow to the brain and stuff. So just doing those things, helping out your neural networks, is the best way to remember dreams. You know, journaling, doing like memory exercises as well, can help you. But doing things like that will really help. If you drink alcohol, cut back on that. Alcohol makes it, distorts that brain function as well. Say Ginkgo biblio. What the fuck is that? I'm a welcome in Bethany. How we doing? How we feeling? I am feeling grounded and in a no bullshit negotiation mood. So I'm feeling pretty solid right now. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't felt this good in a while. I woke up blunt in a way. And I was just like, what's going on? I was kind of confused, but it's not really anything bad. I sat and was like, am I upset? No. Am I mad? No. Is there anything wrong? Not really. I'm just in that mood. I'm in that brick wall mood today. But of course, Phoenix, I got you. Sleep well. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've been waking up with like really, really, really like sticky and moist hands, and that's like a sign of like a pinched nerve in my back or my hip, or a sign of extreme stress. So I've been just like I'm choosing just to not deal with any BS. Cause my body is telling me, hey, you're not doing good. So now I'm just like, okay. Cause it's not okay. I've already had like spinal issues before. I don't need any more of them. But it's probably not even that. It's more just stress. A very, very, very unbothered mood. Yeah, ashwagandha does help a lot with stress. I don't have that anymore. I only have. I'm just gonna only call it Ginkgo biblio. I can't stop. I don't care what it's actually called anymore. After calling it that, I feel like that's its official name now. No, but this helps a lot. Um, 'Cause, it helps with brain function, circulation, and so that helps with like kind of catching yourself in that sense. You don't go down spirals as much, dude. It's ginkgo biloba. Yeah, it's ginkgo biloba, but I called it ginkgo It doesn't even have like an L in ginkgo, dude. Talk about a dyslexic moment, dude. Holy shit. But it helps with that as well. I've been like on a de-stress mood with it, but I've also been uh mentally active, so I've been needing to find ways to kind of like spin that. But it's helped a lot with that. I've tried lion's mane mushroom. I've tried ashwagandha. I've tried this. They all like have really good benefits with that. King Cleo Biblio. They should have named it that. And that name's so much better. I'm sorry. It rolls off the tongue more. And that's awesome. But yeah, that's the main thing that I'm focusing on right now is just worrying about not being stressed, like just not caring. And just knowing at this point, not trying to like assume or predict what's gonna happen next mentally, no matter what, and just get what I'm getting current and run with that. I need to just go ahead and put you like behind the laptop. You being on the right side is not helping me. Yeah, dude, cutting out sugar helps out a lot. Cutting out like processed food also helps. Anything that's like easier on your digestive tract is going to be easier on the rest of your body. Like all that sugar, all it's going to do is raise your blood pressure, even if to a little degree. That's going to cause an increase of energy within your system, no matter what. It's going to break it down. It's going to get that glucose in it. It's going to go through your bloodstream. It's going to fuck you up a little bit. It's a mix of just a lot, you know. When did this open? I didn't want this to open. I'm gonna close you again. I don't want to. Okay. I don't remember clicking on that. I'm just kind of confused. Do I have any more? I do not. Damn. Oh well. Alrighty, take care, Bethany. It'd be like that sometimes, Bethany. It'd be like that. And tarot reveals hidden truths. The modern age way of reading tarot that everyone else is doing is a lie and a scam. They're not doing anything but projecting more fear out to people. Tarot gets you centered to yourself again. Tarot reminds you that you're arguing with yourself day to day, that the key is two keys. You have two heads, you have two brains. You have the right side of the right brain and the left side of the left brain. If you look at a dolphin, they have two whole brains, or two right brains and two left brains, right? They have holes in it. We only have one half of each, so we're not that able to like control that. Tarot reminds you about that. Tarot reminds you that the external world is nothing but a distraction, and that if you don't have your internal world balanced and set straight, then you're not going to be able to move in the external world. Guess what the modern day readers are doing? Making people unbalanced by focusing on the external world. So they're not going anywhere, they're not doing anything, selling you false hopes and dreams, and then making you believe. Some people get through because some people, move forward. The rest of the people are being trauma dumped upon and trauma binded to these people without even realizing it, despite also complaining about them being trauma bonded to someone else whenever that's not even the case. It reminds you what's more important. You. The reason why you're here is so you can experience. And a lot of people want to experience suffering, unfortunately. Now, tarot cards, however, hold those secrets. Tarot itself was the old religion that was taken over by the Crusades. When the Crusades came through Lower Egypt, which is in the Bible, that's the whole thing with the pharaohs and the plague and stuff during that whole thing, and also the stealing of the Ark of the Covenant. That's the whole thing involving the Crusades and the Knights Templar. That whole thing was a Roman European conduct to pressure down on the old religion and to bring upon the new one. Christianity, Judaism, Islam. They all three are the same. They're all three coming from that. What people don't realize is we're still under the control of Romans. The Vatican controls the hospitals, the schools, the banking systems, basically everything, and the Vatican is in Roman Empire stasis, and we still are ruled underneath it. People don't realize that yet. The way that we people, not we, because I'm not part of it. The way that modern day tarot readers are reading cards, is the same way that the Greco-Romans did. And the only reason why it had to be passed down that way is because the Gypsies, the Kemets, the people of the land of Cam of Lower Egypt and Egypt knew that they had to hide these things. So they began to fortune tell and lie about these secrets while also keeping it hidden in secret societies. Then you had groups ages later, like the Order of the Golden Dawn, come through, recover, not create, but recover this information and then output it. At the same time of that information being output, you also had Masonry, you also had your Scottish Rites, you had the mimicry of what the original Egyptian schools were teaching at the time, and how they portrayed it and how they connected it with their religion to make it more seem fitting for that. Tarot mixes in, has imagery that mixes in with the Greco-Roman status to show you examples of what you do to yourself. You know, in the Bible, if you replace everyone's name with yourself, it tells you all the things that you do to yourself. It tells you your whole story. But, you know, you have to be able to look at it in that sort of sense. All it is telling you about yourself and how you guide yourself through that darkness by creating things through the dark and bringing them to light. But it holds many secrets, and a lot of people don't see it because they're blind. They don't take time to look at the cards. They don't understand that everything is done with a purpose, yet they say it. But that you could show anyone, you could probably show the majority of tarot readers why does the why does the sleeves of the shirt look like that? What does that mean? What is he wearing? What does that represent? You know, why is that dog there? You know, they might be able to answer why the dog is there, but the rest of the things, when you get down into it, they might not know. They don't know the truth of it. If I were to show them the, god dang, where is it at? Honestly, if I were to show them what a cloud represents, they would probably just say God. But that's only for the aces. Because that cloud has a hand. But what does a cloud represent? Cloud is air and water. That's a thought with feeling in it. And that feeling is nurturing that thought. It's bringing out that life that holds the item. And that's the God factor that we mess with every day. But, you know, modern day tarot readers are still under Roman control. They're part of what is truly called the Antichrist agenda, because only the Antichrist would have you focused on external things rather than the truth of it, of the internal. The only reason why people suffer is because of a mishap of the internal. They're not listening to what they need to do. We fearmonger ourselves a lot. But honestly, to be even for me to even consider someone as a tarot reader, they need to know what the history of tarot is. How are you reading something that you don't know anything about? Doesn't make sense. But that's a question that's scary to ask, because then you have to look at yourself and be like, so what's everyone else doing? What the fuck are they doing? I don't know. Schizophrenic activities. Won't come in on it. It's not really schizophrenic, but you know, when you don't have wisdom or knowledge, you can be easily manipulated. Not just to mention by the electromagnetic manipulation that we go through daily, but also just the manipulation itself. They don't know who's actually in control. They're being led by their mind rather than guided by their heart, unfortunately. But that's just what New Age spiritualism is. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Like, it's so weird. 2030 is gonna be a fucking interesting time, man. That's all I'm gonna say. When 2030 hits, I might just disappear, dude. I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't. I mean, I'm ready. I just don't think I'm ready to see the mass hysteria that might click off. I'm gonna say the keyword might, because you know, I have a few ideas of what might happen, but based off of prophecy, um, yeah, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be either in the desert or somewhere else by that time. I ain't gonna be anywhere near this shit, dude. I will be at the farthest peak, at the highest and furthest peak, and watching that shit go down. That's where I'm gonna be. But yeah, day by day, baby step by baby step, we bring people in and we lose people. And that's just how it be. A lot of people think it's arrogance though, because it's really funny. I mean, and to be honest, working off of like the westernized astrology system, the fact that my Lilith is in a placement that makes people upset at my work, and it, you know, Lilith being that feminine energy and that feminine energy being receiving, people will definitely receive me wrong because they're not ready to face someone like me. My celestial moon is right next to my Lilith as well, so it's really funny. I'm not only like affecting people, but I'm safe from like the backlash. So people who, and I've had multiple people try it already, who try to do workings on me or try to block my shit, end up just fucking up their own shit because I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm simply existing. You know, so going by these people and how they go by westernized astrology mainly, um, you know, they get fumbled up by their own fucking belief system. That's why I don't got a belief system, dude. That shit gets you more fucked up than being sovereign. So, but you know, yeah, dude, I've had these headphones are fucking, they're high key, they're really gross. I've had these for like 5 years, dude. I need to get new ones. But I've even, it's Audio Technica. Of course they are, dude. It's the fucking what? ATHs? Yeah. Anything Audio Technica for like headphones, I'll get always. And it's just my go-to brand. I don't really know why. I haven't really tried any others, but most everyone I know uses Audio Technicas, and I used Audio Technicas when I way back when I first started with music, so I just kind of kept on them. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. I use Behringer too, but Behringer is not. They got some issues over there. So we won't talk about that, but that's just controversy. But yeah, once people start to realize that that the Roman Empire um is still like heavily in control of things, people will stop using westernized systems because like people are like calling on people like Odin and Zeus and Athena. Those are servitors. Those are not gods. Those are servitors. And people believe them to be gods. They are man-made figures of representations. Those are servitors and chaos magic, because guess who brought chaos magic to the world? The Romans. Well, it was existent before then, but when they got their hands on it from scrolls within Lower Egypt and shit, they then began to use it for population control and mass hysteria and herding, which is why people are known as sheeps, because what do you do to sheeps? You fucking herd them, so that's what they do, you know. You got your sheeps, who are kind of in the middle. They don't know where the fuck they're going. You have your lambs that know the path they're walking because they're being led by the shepherd or the heart or by those who know, those who can guide, and then you have your goats who are children of Baphomet. So you hear someone say, "Oh, they're the goat. They're Baphomet's child. They're part of Baphomet." Someone calls you a goat, tell them to leave. I never want to be called a kid. I never want to be called a goat. Because a kid is a baby goat. Stop calling your children kids, by the way. Please don't call them kids, because a kid is a baby goat, and you're like, stop. These words, look it up. What is a baby goat called? It's called a kid. Stop calling your children kids, dude. They're not Baphomet's children unless you're one of Baphomet's child yourself. So watch it. Watch what you're saying to these children. You might not think it makes a difference, but it do. It really, really do. But yeah, they're really good for what I do. But yeah, it's a bubble to be popped, and a lot of people don't like hearing it. But like, they're servitors, and you gotta watch out because people are making them into godheads, giving them power. But what is a lie? No matter how powerful a lie is, if you have the truth, it's not gonna affect you. That's why I've always stayed away from the Greco gods and stuff, the Greek and Roman gods. I've always been like, I don't mess with them. I don't know nothing about them. I don't want to talk to them. They try to reach out. Get away. Who are you trying to mimic? Who are the originals that you're trying to mimic at that point? Get that away from me. Now, if you're able to like tell who they're supposed to be in that sense, which is kind of really easy, just comparing it back to the Egyptian Sumerians and further on beyond, before the Crusades happened, checking out what those gods were, what they represented, and comparing it to the Greco-Roman ones, you'll see who they're trying to compare it to. You'll understand the stories of their upbringing and their life a lot more. But then you'll also see the fallacies of like what actually was happening and what was actually being dictated. And you'll start to see why most of the like gods that are man-made are always so chaotic or outlandish when it comes down to things. And welcome in. Appreciate love the surprise, the subscribe. I said the surprise, the subscribe. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. But yeah, a lot of people really aren't ready to talk about that because they spent their entire lives talking to these beings, and it's like, well, you've been bamboozled. But it's always better to know at some point than to never know. Well, that's good. Wait a minute. Oh, I do have the chart still up here. Man, I want the website to be built already. I want to like I want to teach tarot classes. I'm ready. I almost started crying about that. I don't know why. I just like released some sort of feeling I had buried beneath. I just want to start teaching these tarot classes, man. The website's being made. So that's good, but I just want to I don't know. I'm just ready. I feel like I'm beyond ready. I don't know. I've been like practicing here for like months. And I got this shit down packed. The only thing I need to do is to have like like a shortcut. Like phrases. One-liners. That's the word I'm thinking of. One-liners. I need to have one-liners for the cards. That's all. Other than that, I'm good. If I can turn things from like big long speeches into one-liners, I'll be fine. I'm doing very well today. I'm in a brick wall mood. I'm in a no bullshit mood. I have no tolerance today. But it's in the sense of like I'm doing it because I just don't care today. And it's like a really healthy boundary. I like usually I'll wake up and I'll do certain things and then those things cause me to panic later on. And I just completely avoided doing that today. So I've been like sturdy. I am very much in like a lot of control today over like what's going on internally, which is really good. Last night it was awful though. I don't know what I did, but my stomach was like killing me. So I went to sleep like really early. But I'm doing like fantastic. I want to go outside today really bad as well. I've been going outside a lot, which is, it's normal, it's good. But I've been getting more and more pulls to go outside. Which is perfectly fine. I really do, I don't know. I need a message. I need to message them and let them know. And just say, fuck it. I gotta lock in. Thanks. Sorry. Right as I was talking about that, I split the cards and it was the Page of Pentacles upright and then went right to the Page of Cups upright. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I hear you, fish. I'm listening. But no, I'm about to just live in the desert with my mentor. Like he offered uh he offered it. And if he's serious about it, I'm taking the offer cuz I a I would like to just be in the desert regardless. I want to have like clean skies. I don't really want to have to like, you know, pay a rent anymore. Like this shit's just not it for me. The more it's been happening, the more I'm realizing like it's just not it. And because I'm more concerned with finding truth than struggling in this society, it's like I need to just leave basically. I can't like be in these two worlds anymore. I have to like choose where I need to go. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So if I disappear for a while, it's probably because I'm just adjusting to desert life. But he has internet on his bus, so I will be able to upload and stuff and make videos, and we'll probably have Hobo on lives and stuff, teaching and stuff, as well. I feel like that. No, why did I do that? I'm breaking the box. I need to get a whole new box. I need to stop doing that. I need to get a whole new deck, honestly. God damn, dude. I just gotta get a lot of shit. I have to get like two things. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but if that offer is a serious and on the table, I'm gone. And also, it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity type thing. Like it's something that when it was offered to me, it enlightened my entire chest. And that warns me of like a destiny turning point. So I was, it might not seem practical for the future vision, but for present and what I'm looking to do now, it's very, very practical. And I've only had one person say it's crazy talk. But again, that one person that said it's crazy talk wants me to work for them. So there's the correlation with that. But everyone else says go for it. So I said go for it first though, and that's all that matters. I didn't really care if any of my friends said that they didn't care. I mean, if they didn't want me to go, but you know, I made that decision internally way long ago. So that's, you know, that's how my life is going. I just I don't know. Hopefully your day goes well though. Hopefully your day goes well. The risings can definitely be a bit iffy. Just that groggy feeling that you get sometimes. It can definitely be there. But I don't know. At some point I really need to like write a book about my life because this shit's too stupid. Like it's stupid, like I know not stupid in like a bad way, but stupid isn't like what the fuck. You know what I mean? Like how do I how do I explain to people that I went through all this occult training at a young age. I like fucked in graveyards. I like messed with cryptids and shit. And then at 25, I moved to the desert with an old man to learn like the secrets of. I don't know. That's just fucking bizarre. You know, it's just such a weird life. But I mean, that's what we're here to do is experience shit. And if this is part of my experience, fuck it, we've all. I am here for a fun time, not a long time, and it doesn't mean throwing my life away. It just means I'm here to enlighten myself and have my heart and my soul bounce around and, you know, be a goober, I guess. Dude, that's what literally I keep telling people. Like you wouldn't believe, you like some people's lives you just wouldn't believe. You wouldn't really believe anyone's life regardless, but there are specific people that you just like that doesn't exist, like people who are like actually gang stalked by government agencies for like being whistleblowers or being one of the various test subjects that they did from like what was it 1980 something 1989 to like what 2005, was that like the year? It was when the indigo children were born, and the indigo children stopped being born I think in 99 to 2000 if I'm not wrong. So people born through that transitional state were tested on a lot. um so you know, it's all that shit. You wouldn't believe it, but that shit's real. It's what we live in. So it's bizarre. You wouldn't really even believe people's like spiritual experiences, really, just because it's toned into them and how they see things. So that's the crazy part about it. Really, is just everyone's life's fucking bizarre. It's just these certain details that make it non-believable. But I mean, in a world ruled by chaos, what do you fucking expect, dude? Anything could happen. But yeah, I feel that. I'm a bit groggy today too. Dude, it really is. Life is very bizarre. Life is very bizarre. And it's only gonna get more and more bizarre. It's not gonna tone down. Unfortunately, that's not how chaos magic works. The like to really talk about how fucked up it is. The whole spell that's put over like the entirety of the place, not just over the states, because there's there's basically two conglomerate big like veils over things. There is the veil that is specifically toned in for the United States, and then there's the blanket that's toned to cover the entirety of existence. And it's about breaking through both of those. The one that's over the United States is all this shit that we deal with here with first world problem illusions and things of that nature. But then when you break through that, you then have the global hysteria of these things being lies and everyone being taught in a wrong way that you have to then break through. And after you break through those, you then have to remove your own dogma by becoming neutral or self-centered. You know, that's again like the world operates off of three. It always has, it always will be. We have three stages of darkness. We have you know, oh my god, what is it? It's literally a cell process that happens. but it begins with three, and then they all conglomerate into one, and then that one splits into two. And that's like I think that's the formation of an atom, dude. I can't fucking remember. Don't quote me. I have to like refresh myself on stuff with this stuff. But everything is based off of three. That's why it says the Holy Trinity. That's why everything's based off a triangle. You triangulate yourself. That's talking about your eye, the whole thing, right? Because you're a square. You have a cap on you. That's all a triangle is a square with a cap on it. That pointed top shows that you're enlightened. You have a way to beam information down to spread it out to the two halves of you. You're equally balanced. And then after that, you smooth out, you round, you become the circle, you become whole. You no longer have those rugged, those sharp edges anymore. You're no longer afraid of the external. You're no longer guarding yourself. You're smooth, you're round as you know you're part of that whole. That's basic alchemy, and that's like what's showing up in alchemy art. Hold up. Let me show you. Let me get the photo. I have it. I have every time I talk about it, this exact photo is in my mind. And that's the only reason why I'm able to talk about it that way. Let me see. I wish whoever's mowing the lawn would go away. Like, I'm just not in it today for that. I don't want to hear your. Yeah, go on. Skedaddle. You listen to me. That's what I fucking thought. I'm just not in the mood, man. Today I'll. I'm sorry, but welcome in, welcome in. Where the hell is it at? Oh, it is in this folder. I gotta like click through all the photos though. That's what I gotta do. Where is it? There it is. This thing. That's what it's talking about. And the reason why on this photo that the feminine is on the left and the masculine is on the right is because this was a technique that was used during Greco-Roman times to not only mistranslate the information, but to cause confusion. When you look at a photo, you're looking at a mirror. This is a mirrored image. So you're really looking at it backwards. The feminine is on the left and masculine is on the right, but it's drawn out mirrored because it's drawn out from an outward perspective, where your actions then become the nurturer to your reality. But you begin out whole, but you're squared. You're trapped in that square, and then you triangulate yourself. You remove that middle line, which is why he's pointing to that middle line. And then as well up here, he's removing that cap, making you triangulated, showing you how much of an area you have. This is like your eighth or your divine, whatever you want to fucking call it, but this is your higher realm. This is your truth knowing, that triangle there. You remove that and you see the full picture. You then become rounded with a whole spectrum of things. You're no longer just locked into this tiny light area. You're now in uncharted lands. You're now able to see more of what's happening. And then after that, you have another box you have to remove yourself from, which is why that wall is there. That box is never gonna leave. That box is signifying that you grow comfortable. It's your comfort zone. That is your rationality. You become so used to seeing it in one way that you don't leave that sort of box. And it's about leaving that next box and becoming truly connected to all. It's about knowing it from a full rounded point. Not point, rounded. I'm gonna say point. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna say point. It doesn't matter. But that's what's going on with that. Welcome in, Laura. Welcome in. And yeah, it's gonna be a long time before things are considered like normal again. A very, very, very long time. Welcome in, welcome in. How we doing? How we feeling? You can say that I'm mean, but it's whatever. I don't really care how you define me. That's a you problem, not a me problem. So I don't really care. That's unfortunate for you. To each their own. It's my channel, my rules, and if you're gonna break them, it's unfortunate for you. I'm doing well. In a very brick wall, no bullshit mood. No one cares about the childish. Like, I don't care about that game. It's fine. Like, don't don't point fingers at people, dude. You have three pointing right back at you. If you're really gonna be immature enough to, go after someone just because they do it first, that doesn't dictate you free. You're just as guilty as them. So it doesn't work on me, unfortunately. I'm not like, I know what I'm doing. I'm very smart when it comes to this stuff. You can't manipulate your way. Like, just quit. It's just making you look weirder. I'm sorry. Like, if you only came in here to do that, then it's unfortunate. You can just leave. I am just staring off into the abyss. I'm gonna be real. There's nothing really in specific that I'm looking at. I am just grounded. I'm inside of myself, basically. Until, like, another, like, frequency pops through. That's what I'm doing. My laptop is behind me. I'm just, like, scrolling my wheel. On my mouse. But not much. I'm also listening to music in the background, so I'm kind of zoned into that. Yeah, just vibing. What's happening in my life? Evolution. Evolution. We evolve, we don't revolve. There's no need to like go in a circle. We are doing donation-based readings. The donation links are up in the pinned, either to the PayPal, this Cash App, the Venmo, or the Chime. And I got you. I'm only doing donation-based readings, unfortunately. What's up? Why are you scared? Hmm. Were they following you, or were they walking in the same path as you? And the only reason I ask that is because I know that fear-based pattern thinking and how it is. Did you report it? Well, if you feel concerned, you probably should. Welcome in, Anita. What's up? How are we doing? But definitely, if you do feel threatened by it or scared, report it. It might not make full sense, but doing things like that gets things in motion. Whether it's, in an internal way or an external way, it's still going to release that sort of, uh, what the hell is it called? One word am I thinking of? The chemical that would attract that to happen again, in a sense. Okay. Word. You're just vibing out today? Yeah, I just looked it up. It's a drink. It's an actual, like, type of drink. I had zero idea what it is. Hopefully everything's alright on the freeway, though, Anna. I get that. Are you on your way to work? I kind of assume so. Ah, word. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, hopefully you're able to, get home, but be sure, especially if it gets too close to time, to just let your work know that there's like an accident when you're on your way home from somewhere. Oh, damn. That's the same thing with one of my friends and his girlfriend. He has to drive like, damn, what was it, like 3 hours to go see his girlfriend. So he ends up staying there for like a week or like, multiple days at a time. Yeah, definitely like if you're not like fully ready at like the 1 hour mark, definitely just be like, hey, there's like weird traffic stuff going on, and just let them know. So, dude, oh my god. I hope it's at a pinched nerve. I really hope it's at a pinched nerve, dude. I'll be so upset. My palms are fucking warning me about it. And it could just be stress. I'm banking on it just being stress and needing more sleep. But if it's a pinched nerve, in my back again. I'm gonna lose my mind. Because that stuff is not fun. I would not answer the door. I would keep that shit locked. I don't want that draconian near me. I'm perfectly fine. I'd still probably keep the door shut. I really don't want any celebrity visiting me. That over here, I can see the message. Yeah, I don't know. I used to be someone that was like, oh my god, I want to meet all these people, but now I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm fine. You know, I haven't seen the new Wicked movie, but I remember watching the old one, and I don't remember anything but that orange-haired lady, and that's about it. Like anytime I think of Wicked, that's all I think of, and then the memory just poofs away. Dude, I hate spam calls. Spam calls are so stupid, dude. They'll either not say anything or they'll like say some weird stuff. I will admit I love fucking with like scam calls. I really do. Like it, damn, what was it? That was in 2019. Me and my friends had this. I still never know. Like, I don't even think anyone knows why the inside joke exists anymore. But anytime we got like calls, we would ask them if you had put cotton balls on the floor and walked on them barefoot, would they tickle? And I don't know why, but we would ask them that all the time, and they'd get like really uncannily pissed off at it. So we kept doing it. And I don't really know where that started or like why we asked that specific of a question, but it seemed to piss everyone off. So, you know, that I don't know why. That was just something that we did. Tezzy is actually a really cool nickname. Yeah, Anna, that's a good one too. I don't know what this song is. I've just been listening to random stuff. Oh, I did that wrong. Man. I need to put these cards in like a bowl of salt. Like I need to just go buy salt and just dump them on these cards. There's just moisture getting in them because of my fucking hands, man. Trying to fan them out. That's why I shuffle the cards so much. I gotta like fan them out a lot. All this stress and stuff has got my hands like moisture acting up. Dude, Miss Mary Mac was crazy. I think it was bizarre as a child knowing like the hokey pokey was a full-on ritualistic dance. I think that was crazy of me to know, and I would never do the hokey pokey for the lights of me. Anytime someone would be like, "Do the hokey pokey," I'd literally walk away. I would not do the hokey pokey. I do not care, dude. You couldn't catch me. You could barely catch me doing hopscotch, okay? Let alone that. All right. I'm not putting my right hand nowhere. I'm not about to shake it about. I'm not about to turn around either. So you got me fucked up. Dude. No, musical chairs and cakewalks. Despite me enjoying getting a cake, I'm not gonna do a cake. I'm okay. I'm fine. I didn't like that stuff. It made me very uncomfortable. Like if I go to a club and fucking what is it called? The Casper Slide Part 2, whatever the fuck that is, you know what I'm talking about. That song, when that song comes on and everyone floods to the dance floor, I immediately want to leave. Like I'm fine. That's programming, dude. I'm okay. Sure, it's having fun, but I don't. For me, it irks me out. With my occult studies, dude, I kind of get weirded out when shit like that happens. I stay away. I stay I stay pretty far away at that point. You can't catch me. I would either have to be intoxicated as fuck, which has happened a few times that got me to do the dance, or just doing it out of like, just fuck it, we ball. But I would never like consciously be like happy to jump in that pit. No, dude, it's the adults too. I've gone to literal bars, and all it takes is someone playing that song, and everyone runs to the fucking center. It's terrifying, dude. I'm like, y'all are fucking crazy. It's, I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know. I'm in Kentucky. We have different brains over here. We have different water contaminations. We actually, where I used to live, people are getting cancer from the water. I don't know what they were doing, but I remember I signed up in chemistry class. We had like a whole thing where we went to where the water was being produced from and we started testing it to see why people were getting cancer from it. But guess who shut that operation down? That I don't even want to answer it. I'm not even going to. They know the answer. I'm not going to deal with it every day. I'm literally just not going to deal with answering that phone every day that's saying the same bullshit. They know the answer. I'm not dealing. I can't play that game. It's an annoying ass game. Hell yeah, Anna. And yeah, Kentucky's good to visit in like the spring and the fall. When the leaves change colors, it's the best place to be. I swear to God, it will. It always will be. You gotta change that, you know. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to not be bored. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do. I need 3 pieces of paper. Do I have paper in here that's like not used? Probably not. This book has been fucking full. Oh my god. Are there 2 more pages that I can use? Wow. Back to back to back. And this is probably gonna break my book just because I did that. I just watched it fall apart. This thing is old. Oh. Why not? I should probably just. There we go. And I can do that later. Alright. Alright, now I have to open this up. No, I don't. It's too late. The word is definitely not the Queen of Swords. Maybe to the Greco-Roman man-made bullshit, but in actuality, no. That's not at all how it is. We don't deal with with lies or falsities or man-made bullshit over here. We deal with just the facts and the truth. And there's enough of that wacko stuff and New Age spiritualism, and that's just the downfall of humanity. I'm okay. I don't vibe with communities like that. Love you as well. Yeah. Mm. I am centering myself, honestly. I'm centering myself so I can hear more than just my rational mind at this moment. Because that phone call definitely triggered a not repressive, but a repetitive fear that continuously happens. So I'm focusing less on the fact that that's already happened and more on what I can do now to center the self. Because every time they call, they just say, hey, you need to make a new reservation today. Hey, you need to pay. And it's not like I don't fucking know this already. It's not like I've literally had the past how long? 2, 3 months of this exact same phone call going on? You would think that I get it by now. I don't need that phone call. But yet it has to, quote unquote, has to happen. And it's more of an irritating factor than a fear factor at this point. But every time it happens, it reminds me that the fact that, oh yeah, I don't have any fucking money at all to do anything. And instead of focusing on that aspect, I center myself and do my best to focus on the intuitive mind to get that answer. But I've been doing well. It's just like annoying to get that call, dude. And it doesn't help that like I'll literally anticipate the call about an hour before it happens. Like I'll hear it very faintly in the back of my head, and that usually proxies that trigger. And that's just because of conditioned stimuli. Like I'm been conditioned to realize that between certain hours of 9 to 11 is when they're gonna call, and that's just the conditioned mindset of it. And I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna be the same thing. So today, instead of answering the call and playing that game, I ignored it. But at the at the end of the day, it's just, this is what I have to go through to break that cycle, basically. I'm writing a book based on like conditioned and unconditioned stimuli anyway. So I feel like the fact that I'm writing the book on that condition and also going through it in real time is very helpful. So I very much like, even though like the bottom card is the fucking Queen of Swords, right? I mean the Queen of the Three of Swords. The Queen of Cups was below that, my bad. But the Three of Swords is the card staring at me. That's really what's going on. Is my brain is trying to infiltrate the heart space and make me doubt what I already know is, bound to happen, which is I'm going to be fine. So it kind of helps me out writing that book. And I've figured that out because every book I've written, I actively go through the exact subject. So call it divine inspiration. You know what I mean? And call it whatever you want, but I actively go through the shit that I write about. The books that I wrote about the ego, I was very much in a complete observer mindset. I was detached as fuck for those 2 like weeks I was writing those books. When I was writing the books on like angels and stuff, that was when I began my Enochian studies and stuff. So, it all kind of correlates. So now that I'm writing about conditioned and unconditioned stimuli, I've captured this cycle that I'm in. I know what it is. I'm observing the cycle that I'm in. I'm observing where my focus goes when I reattach to reality. And then I try to focus in on the divine aspect of it rather than just the physical aspect. And hopefully, if I get this formula down, at least down to like a personal way to where I can explain it better in detail, I'm gonna have that in the book somewhere to kind of as like a guideline to help with that. Because this realm runs off of conditioned and unconditioned stimuli. This realm needs you to react the exact same way to the same bullshit so you keep fueling it. If you change that reaction, it breaks. And that's like the main thing. Because again, this world is mental. If you can learn to do that, everything's going to be fine. But it's about knowing how to. It's about knowing like what you're actually doing and not just, you know, spiritualizing it fully by just ignore it and detach. Well, what does it mean to detach? Does it mean to distract yourself, or does it mean to actually observe? It means to observe. You know what I mean? So, it's fun. It's something. But yeah, it's whatever. At the end of the day, I know that everything's gonna like be chill. I'm just going through training grounds. And even more, this is what I'm going through now is pushing me more to what I actually desire. So, and I already had an offer pop up that I'm actually desiring to take. And if it's a serious offer, I'm going to make sure. And if it is, decision's made. And I won't have any more fear about any circumstance because it won't even be a backup plan. It will simply be part of the path that's needed to be walked. So, I don't know. Yeah. It's less of accepting nothing and accepting everything. Because when you detach, well, it's kind of both. Because when you detach, you accept that everything's happening, but you know that um, nothing is really there at the same time. And you're fine, Anita. No need to panic about it. Remain calm about it. I've had issues with my stuff too. Um, so take this as a practice ground. You know what I mean? Take it as a practice ground. It might be irritating, but just move forward slowly. Move with the flow. Let yourself feel what you gotta feel, but make sure you don't projected at no one. I've been there too many times. Exactly, nothing is real. We create everything. Like, the fact that someone would get mad at something doesn't exist. It's you and your own attachment to it that creates that sort of mental reaction, that chemical reaction. Then synapses and the neurons in your brain clicking and sending that shit through your nervous system to make you think that you feel a certain way. And then that creates the actual impulse of that feeling. Dude, we're literally just robots. I really hate to say it, but we really are like biohumans at this point. We really are aliens that have been hacked, basically. Well, yes, bioelectrically, and then also bioengineerily hacked. God damn, this is too many big words to say. But yeah, we are just electrical currents at the end of the day. Everything that we respond to is literally just an electrical impulse. So nothing is real. Oh yeah, today's Friday the 13th. I completely forgot about that. The heart knows all. The heart's connected with the source. It's connected with mother. It doesn't need to force you to do anything. It doesn't need anything. It really doesn't even require you to do anything. It simply just gives you life. That's its sole purpose. It's with the divine. It knows the beauty of it, and it happily, you know, gives you all that you desire. It's just up to you to take it. It's up to you to trust yourself enough to really go out and venture in those ways. The heart will never hurt you. The mind will always be there to slay a trap, though. The heart can never be broken. The heart can never feel pain. It's only the mind that sends that sort of feeling, that sort of, I guess, example to that part of the body. Your whole chest feeling isn't like a heart. It's literally your chest. There's like, you have like, your main two poles are like in your chest, in your gut. That's why when you get heavy emotions, it pops up here, it pops up there. Like, that's your big, like, central battery drainage center basically. Whenever you get fearful or stuff, it shoots out from there. That's where it goes. When you get adrenaline, it shoots out from there. It shoots out from those two ports, and that's the two ports that they use to plug into people. You know, mass hysteria, fear mongering, XYZ. It feeds off those 2 points, and those 2 points are connected or related very closely to the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra, shutting down your fire, shutting down your ability to love and trust and just to live in that sense. They shut you down into that box and then you can't break out of it. That's the things that you're trying to relieve. They push you into your lower chakras to keep your higher chakras off. They shut your heart chakra off. You can't use your third eye. Your ability to see, your ability to envision or just to observe is now cut off because now you have to be involved with it. They shut down your solar plexus. That shuts down the phoenix evolution. It can no longer go up to the third to go to the heart and ash to go back to the root again. You're now stuck in the root and your sacral. You're stuck in survival abilities and animalistic natures. At that point, they keep you stuck there. That's what they want. It's about building those two core centers up by knowing the mind first. It's the mind that creates that feeling there. They don't do that on by their own. And half the time, really, if we were to get deeper into it, most of the time it's not even your mind. You get to a point to where you realize that, and then you're not fighting your mind anymore. You're now trying to understand the electromagnetic field around you and how that's being manipulated by XYZ, and then you deduct all that down. Once you start deducting those issues down, then it becomes more manageable because you're not going to have so much intake, and that revolves around like the foods that you eat, the people you're around, the activities, the amount of rest, XYZ. you know it's an agglomeration of a lot, but it all comes down to how you perceive it all and how you're allowing it to intake and how you're allowing it to express itself, inward and outward. But, you know, always, Adriana. The one thing I know for sure is that I'm doing something that is a passion to me. And the fact that I'm following my passions means it's not going to fall short. The passion comes from the heart space, you know. I enjoy it for multiple reasons, but the main reason is because I thoroughly enjoy this stuff. I've always been one to learn. I've always been one to love to tell people random facts and stuff. So doing this with art forms that we use for daily help, and not only that, but just who we are as, beings is a huge thing to me. In a world full of dogma and lies and fear, it's important to me internally, not only in a heart space sense, but also my mind has agreed to it. My rational mind has agreed to it fully, to know that it's important for it, because I know how it feels to be in those positions. I know how it feels to be led in that wrong direction. And I can't sit there morally correct, knowing things that can help free people, but yet not doing anything about it. I can't be okay with that. My moral compass would literally go catawonky, and I would go insane. So, in order to keep my own peace, I do it. It's very weird, but it's not like a savior complex either, because I'm not here to save anyone. I'm just here to speak and say what I need to say. Whoever gets it, gets it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. That's perfectly fine. But at one point, I did have a savior complex. I had to get over it. It was making things that I was doing not worth it. I had to save myself from the matrix of trying to save other people, while also knowing that it's impossible to do so, So, a bunch of trials and tribulations later, we're here. A bunch of trials and tribulations, we are here. It is a nerve in my back. I felt it. It's in my shoulder. My right shoulder. I gotta do like the downward dog or something later. Or jumping jack, something to stretch out the arms, because that's wild. I should not be dealing with that right now. But I found, at least that's the issue. I hope it's nothing bad though. It should just be like a little pinch. It doesn't like hurt. But I know it's there now. I'm gonna turn on the AC as well. I think that would fucking help. It is stuck. I think it would be very beneficial, and I can't do that right now. Why do you want the heat? No way. Okay, that would also explain it. For some reason, the heat was on. I never put the heat on. I sleep with the cold air on. So I don't even know why that happened. Exactly. Listen, if you can't save yourself, you cannot save another. You have to save yourself and walk the path. But this is the whole thing. This is like David and Goliath type things, It takes one stone. It takes one hit. I don't know who, I don't know when, and I don't know where, but one person will speak a sentence that will create a shockwave through like millions of individuals, and they will all fall to their knees and weep because they realize what they've done. Not in the sense of what they've done externally, but what they've done internally. That's the David and Goliath thing. It takes one stone to just crack open that veil over the third eye, to remove that blanket, and to slay that beast, to slay that giant fear, the conglomerate fear that we live in. It takes one. Once that happens, the shift will happen. But when will that happen? I don't know. Who will say it? I don't know. That's the thing. It needs to be someone who can bear truth and can reach the masses. And doing that is difficult. The only person I've seen so far that has gotten close to that sort of thing is phase one. Whether or not I know what he's truly doing at the end of the day, I don't know. But I do know that he's getting people rounded together. I do know that he knows his facts. And I do know, based off of not only researching, but just sticking around with him, that he does it for a purpose. The purpose, though, might be to free Dr. Malachi York. He also does it to free people. He does it in the sense to enlighten others of what their own path is and stray them away from, XYZ, you know. But at the end of the day, like, it's more about what resonates with you as an individual. What's gonna free you is gonna be for you and no one else. And thank you, Anita. I got the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Sarael, we are doing donation-based tarot reads. We are doing just random chats about things. We are doing AMA. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Adriana. When I go to people, I look for the golden rule, which is how are they treating people. I also look for like who they're speaking for, where are they speaking from. You can tell the difference between someone speaking from their mind or their heart. There's a huge difference, and when you start working with your heart space, you'll know. There's a lot of times where you'll see me snap out of my heart space when I talk, and I find it funny because I'll catch myself too. But when you speak from that place, you have limited time. You don't really you have an eternity, obviously, but you have limited time before this part right here goes, that doesn't sound right, and snaps you out of it. That's what we're working on removing, right? So we don't get snapped away from it. And you can tell because everything like shifts. It's a flow state that happens. It's an actual energy that not only encompasses that individual, but shoots out. And it's a group feeling. It's like it's a full thing that happens. And when it ends, it ends. And it's not just about the words. It's that transmutation of energy. What was actually sent to and what was actually received. What's beyond the words that they use. What's the actual message they're trying to convey. And that's what's going on with that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited. I have a lot of fun things in store, and I really just want to get the ball rolling, dude. And I feel like part of it is me still being afraid to be like a teacher in a sense. And that's just imposter syndrome. Yeah, see, that's the thing. With me, I do have a really like bitchy resting face. So sometimes it's just me being detached and I feel fine. But when I'm not in a good mood, it's very obvious. I can't hide it. I really can't. I like being transparent, and that's my curse. I can't hide something. I literally it's so funny. Just like, are you okay? And like, no, I'm not. But when I am, I am. It's just one of those things. But it's good. I like being transparent because like there shouldn't be a fear around it. You shouldn't be afraid to. Talking Head, they still make music. The Talking Heads do. I remember that fucking Banana song, Banana Boat. Was that the song Banana Boat from Talking Heads? It was like that clay animation. I remember that from my childhood. People were scared of that animation. I don't know why, but I loved it. It was cool. No way. I might have to go check that out. I don't really listen to like music like that, but Talking Heads is nostalgia for me. The second I heard it, I just remembered that monkey climbing the tree, dude. It's such a fucking like classic. So I might have to clock in with that. That definitely hit my inner child. That hit some like memories. That that hit a memory. Hold on. That hit a memory. That's crazy. I didn't know they still made music though. That's awesome. I'm happy for him. I don't know. I don't really know what kind of music they make because I wasn't really tapped in like that back then. But I have to check it out. I literally have it like booted up for whenever streaming. uh, but yeah. I've also been going live on TikTok. I'm gonna start saying that a lot here. I've been going live on TikTok. I do literally the same thing there here, but I basically go over. I have to explain things from like point blank again. So if you're wanting to, go through that, be sure to follow the TikTok. It's the same name. It's literally the same name. It's also in my bio, on my channel bio as well. But I've been going live on there, and it's been pretty beneficial. There are a lot of eager new people who want to learn. And also, like, you can find the spiritual hobo on there too. That's where he mainly posts as well. So you can not only get in contact with me, but him, as well as other students of his, because like we are. How do I word this, dude? We're the new age. We're the new agers bringing the old age back. If that makes sense, like we're recovering, not rediscovering, but we're recovering. And bringing forth the old way, the old religion, what our ancestors and the ancients did and how they lived, to the new age, so that we can actually progress and not revolve anymore. That's why we have so many revolutions. That tells you that revolution is telling you this is the breaking point and this is where we go back in the time. History repeats itself at every revolution. And not only that, but every 24,000 years, God is reborn on Earth. So, you can do the math with that and see how that correlates. So this is supposed to be the year and the age where we move forward, because it's Aquarius, man bearing water, the mind bearing wisdom, the truth being revealed. It is also the age of technology, because again, man or mind is going to bear wisdom, going to create things, going to be in an artificer type build. And we're supposed to move forward from that, because we're breaking free from the spell that the golden calf had on us in the age of Pisces, that was told from the Bible, that golden calf being Moloch. Because the golden calf statue was made as a representation for Moloch whenever God and Moloch were in battle, to see which god was more powerful. And that's the whole thing breaking down right now. That's like the whole Roman curse literally disintegrating before our eyes. See, exactly. We're going back to Atlantis, but we're going back with wisdom. We're not going to be so willy-nilly. We're not going to be so carefree. We're going to actually understand what repercussions mean, and the fact of you needing to be a responsible being. And again, when I say it, I really mean it. You're going to see a lot of these powerful people lose their abilities because they're not capable of handling it. They're misusing it. There's things that people know behind the scenes that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing, and those are going to come to the forefront. The truth will always be revealed. The cloth will always be lifted up. As the mind demands, as man demands, nature will respond. People want truth. People want what's going on more and more each day. That's why the veil is breaking. What do they do to keep that veil up? Distractions, war, violence, crime, issues. They create those to keep people back down in that way, to keep them docile. When people are trying to become sovereign, they're selling you freedom. No, I don't watch the news, Sariel, but I did. If you're talking about the bombing that happened, I do know about it. Yeah, I know about Israel striking Iran. But I didn't watch the news to figure that out. I literally went on Instagram for 0.5 seconds and immediately got hit with a video saying, I know it's scary right now. I know that it's scary that Iran just got, is striking. It just got struck by Israel. And I was like, I didn't know about any of that. And I'm glad that I didn't. I mean, of course, prayers and love. out to them, because that is a serious thing. People's lives are being endangered because of that. Very innocent people are being involved with this, which is unfortunate because they don't care. They need that message to get across of docile or we're going to strike up like that. And it's unfortunate. It's just about, don't get too emotionally entangled into it. Stand your ground, stand for what you know, stand for your truth, but do your best not to allow that to drive you to make impulsive decisions, because that's what they're deriving from. That's not saying not to go and say what you need to say. That's not saying not to go protest, but make sure that you are in a grounded state when you're doing these things, because they need that energy. They need you to add on to that battery. The more people that kind of pull back, even if it's just one, that deducts that power by that much. We are literally conductors, infinite conductors. If we can start pulling back a little bit like that, controlling our internal self while also standing for what we believe and what we want to happen on the external, that's what's going to create the biggest change. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I don't like whenever people go to protests and stuff. Like, I used to go to protests and stuff, and it's hectic as fuck. The energy at protest is wild. It's bizarre. It is the most influx. It is literally a cyclone of energy. It's fucking bizarre. And that's what they use to feed, and that's what they use to generate more and more chaos. That amount keeps it stable for a while. It might not be stable on their end for long, but that's what happens. It's like, so that's the main thing. Just do what you want. Make sure you're protected, not only physically but mentally and spiritually. There are so many more realms. Energetically protect yourself fully. Just make sure that you're safe on all grounds, no matter what you do. Do what calls to you always, but just please be protected on all levels. It's super important to be. That's really all I care about. As I don't really get into politics and shit at all. Like, I don't talk about it. I don't like getting into it, but really just, I don't care what anyone does as long as they do it for their true purpose, if it means it to them, and as long as they're safe. The last thing we need is having like actual open-hearted, lovey people get injured and then revolt and fall down that pipeline of anger and sourness and bitterness. That's really the war that we're dealing with. Yeah, that's probably why my stomach got fucking hit. I don't know what it was, but literally last night at like 9 o'clock. No, it was 8 o'clock. It was 8:39 on the fucking dot. My stomach hurt. And it felt like contractions. I don't know how else to describe it, but it felt like my stomach was contracting. And I was like, I have to leave. I have to like get off the call with y'all. I can't play golf it no more. I have to go to bed. I don't know what it was, and I could not sleep. I had so many vivid dreams, and like, I'm very connected to nature in that sense. I'm very connected to the mother. My internal mother system, I pay attention to heavily. I pay attention to that feminine side of myself. That's just my yin and my yang is 50-50 with my polarity. Like, I just can't ignore it. So I do end up getting a lot of pains that Mother Earth feels in that sort of sense, and it's not pleasant. Listen, I'm there with the people that feel the shit that Mother Earth goes through. It's not fun. As a male, it makes me have even more respect for the feminine self. Not even in the sense of saying that I didn't have a lot of respect, but it adds that extra punch of like this. It just adds that extra layer. And having an audience that's like majority female, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't describe it because it's not something I can really, fully describe with a male-bodied mind, right? But I do feel that pain, and it is one of the most strongest feelings, but it needs to be felt. It needs to be acknowledged in that sense. And I'm glad that I can be like a male-bodied individual to not only experience that, but also translate that for others, because it's needed. It has less to do about gender wars. It has nothing to do about gender wars. It has nothing to do about who's better or who's worse. It has everything about being connected with the totality of things and knowing that that feminine element is always going to be present. Without that element, nothing would be here. Without the mother, without that darkness being there, nothing would be like happening. Nothing would be interchangeable. And you know, I don't know. I very much see what's going on with this shit, and it's all roots. It all goes back to the pimp and the hoe shit. Whenever the whole like pimp industry is what America is. The America is just a pimp industry. We slave you away for your feminine energy, while we only give you masculine energy back. That's literally what they do. That's the whole brigade that's going on, and it's fucking disgusting. I hate it. It's just not cool because I mean, for many reasons. I don't have to go into detail about it. I don't even have to give my opinion on it. It's just not okay. And more people need to be in tune with that. For the sake of not only humanity, but for the sake of self, for the sake of this planet, dude. But, you know, some people get it, some people don't. And that's perfectly fine. It's just how it has to be, man. Yin and yang, exactly. But that's why I get so, like, passionate about it. Because my yin yang is literally 50-50. Polarity split down the middle between femininity and masculinity. So, whenever shit gets rough, I get in that feeling space. I feel it, I get it. It's something like, whenever I say like, yeah, I get that, I'm not saying that to push this aside. I actually get it. When I say I understand what you mean, I literally do. It's not that I'm comprehending it, it's that I'm feeling it. I operate differently than like most men, and it's really funny. It's so funny, because like I have so many guy friends that can't connect like that, and they're like, "What do you mean by all that?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it." But then I also have men friends that are in tune with that as well, and they talk about it in the same way, and they're getting more attuned with it, which I'm fucking happy about. If we can start getting that, and it has like, I don't know, when you start to explain this to people that aren't really in it, it sounds like you're trying to say make men women or demasculate men, but it's more demasculating to hide and cower from an electrical pulse inside of your own body than to actually allow it to exist. So if we're gonna talk about, who has the fucking most masculinity, it's the men who's actually able to feel their feelings and not fucking run away from them. The typical man of America is just a pimp. It's an abuser, it's a pimp, it's someone that will sit and betray. The actual character of a man is someone who is supposed to love a woman, and a woman is supposed to respect and uphold that man, as the man supplies that foundation, but the woman supplies everything that keeps that foundation stable. Without that feminine, the foundation would fall flat. It's like building your house on sand; it won't fucking work. You need that solid foundation, and the only way you can get that is with that feminine, that life bringer, the actual seed that will create. Well, the seed bearer, I should say. Excuse me. It's the soil in the ground that holds the seed, that allows it to protrude. Without that soil being nurtured and having that element, it's not going to do anything. And this is also why you see a lot of women stepping into a more masculine role and a lot of men stepping into a more feminine role, because nature is fucking flipping out. It can't handle all of the lack of movement from masculine. Sorry about the timeout. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. Hands up. But um, it talks. Oh goddamn! What was I talking about? Yeah, it's the man that's like cowering and hiding and not doing that work, and then it also projects as the women becoming more independent. Not, and that's just flipping off the energy scales, and that's why like that is happening a lot now. It's reversing that role, and that is kind of scary. That can lead down to a whirlpool effect of things, but in the grand scheme of it, things will balance out. Oh man, my tummy. I'm getting like gassy after that one. I struck a nerve. I think I just exercised something in me. I don't know what the hell happened. Whatever happened, I feel better now. It's all good. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, that's how it be though. We have our internal demons. Some of them hot. Some of them are fucking sneaky. Your rational brain is a sneaky motherfucker, dude. It's like, do you really want to do this? It's raining outside, or it looks like it's about. What do you mean? It looks like it's about to rain. It hasn't rained yet. I'm gonna go do it. You know what I mean? It sneaks up on you like that. They hide, and if you can bring it to light, it goes away. But you know, that's what I do. I exercise myself, dude. It's awful. With me and by myself, I exercise myself too much. I'll sit there and yap my brain off. And yeah, yoga, dude. I need to get into yoga. I did not just say yogurt. Oh, today's a fun day. I love yogurt, but I need to get I need to get into yoga some more too. I think that's what my stomach's telling me, is that it wants yogurt. I think that's what's going on. Because there's no way I just said yogurt like that. I'm taking that as a sign. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yogurt. God dang. But yeah, yoga's fun. I never did yoga, but I did Zumba as a child. And that got me very close into yoga, but I never fully got into it. I did like practices and stretches and stuff, but I never really got into it. And see you later. Have fun with your boyfriend. Hopefully everything goes swimmingly with it. Take care. Be safe. But yeah. I probably will be getting off here in like 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll end at 200 minutes. I feel like that's good. So in 10 minutes, I'll head off. Don't rush out. It's fine. It's all good. We sit here and chill for a minute. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. I've been going outside a lot and meditating a lot more outside. I used to do it a lot, but cold weather kept me from really going out there, which is my fault. That's my rationality clicking in, right? But I'm moving forward stronger with it. I've been like grounding myself a lot, going outside, journaling, stretching, yoga, all that stuff. So it's coming. It's time for me to tap back into that reserve of self again for sure. I have been on like a very big spiritual break. I haven't been meditating as much. I haven't been as big on my practice as I usually have been. And that's just to give myself a rest, because you end up doing a lot of like spiritual work with yourself, and it gets to a point, if you're not doing it in a grounded, in a consistent or like conscious state, it can become over cumbersome and overbearing for you. So it's good to give yourself like a 2-3 week grace period, where instead of being focused on self-development, you focus on that fun, you relax, and then you can go back to that in like a higher state, you know what I mean? Or in a more clear mind, rather than thinking that everything needs to be fixed and everything's, XYZ. So that's what I'm so You're gonna see a lot more. You're just gonna see me just change every goddamn week, honestly. You know how it is. I'll never like pop on live the same twice in a row. Something will always happen randomly. No, seriously, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of mudras outside as well. Um, a lot, and I felt the difference between doing it enclosed and outside. I never really got into, well, I lie. I do this mudra a lot. I do this mudra a lot on tables. I do this, I do this. I do the what's the other one? It's the other one's like this, right? Because there's this one that's absolute, right? And then there's this one. I can't remember how to do the other one, but I do a lot of that. I do a lot of the mudras like default for grounding stuff, especially when I lay down and meditate. I literally baby cradle myself all the time. I always do that. Um, and I do this one a lot too. I forgot what this mudra is. I think this is more of a Masonic symbol than a mudra, honestly. The more research I've done into it, but it is like a symbol of like it does like protrude a specific energy out. I just forgot which one. Um, but yeah, I've been doing those outside a lot, and it's been very exuberating. I keep my window open anyway, so like I always let the energy flow out. But being just encompassed by it and not having like it reverberate off walls and shit is so much different. Having it being reverberated off of trees and nature and stuff is so much better. But you know how it is. We can pretend it's Sonic the Hedgehog word. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I love doing mudras. Literally, um, when I was like 17, 18, I was learning how to make like the energy balls in my hand. I was learning telekinesis on my own at that age, and I kind of want to get back in. Well, I've been getting back into it, but there's certain practices that I'm breathing into it um, as well. So that's always fun. But mudras are crazy useful and helpful. Definitely use them. Dude, Reiki on plants sounds really fun. I have not done Reiki on pets before, but I have a book that shows like where the chakra points of the animals are. Um, it's not near me, is it? No, it's in my suitcase. So at some point I will do that for animals, but right now I don't. Actually, I lied. I've done it once, and it was to someone that I had met. I was helping them clean up their house so they wouldn't get evicted. And they had a cat that got hit by a car, and it was limping around a lot. So as I was petting it, I was also like healing it a little bit. I was sending a lot of healing energy to its left hind leg. That's where it was hit, like in its left side there. And it immediately just snuggled up to me, like it laid in my lap. It was like loving up on me, and I was like, I'm glad that I'm helping you, because it looked in pain. I don't know how it's now. I don't know where it's at now. I don't know how it's doing. I'm not even in contact with that person anymore either. I don't know what happened to them either. But doing Reiki on animals is probably one of the most rewarding things I've done so far, because it's the fact that they reciprocate with like that same nurturing and loving energy back like that. See, I've heard of Barbara Ann. I've never looked into their works though, but I know who you're talking about. Um, I definitely need to go check them out for that. Because I do Secum, and really all I would have to do is just instead of doing it the Reiki way, I would just use it using Secum energy, the energy from Sekhmet, in that sense. Because they go hand in hand, really. They still use the same energy. It's just one's more dictated towards like fire, and you can do like full-on fire ceremonies and fire cleanses within the individual with the energy of Sekhmet as well. But yeah. See, like, that's why I'm kind of glad. Also, another reason why I had to take a whole break. I literally had too many ideas at once. I was carrying too much shit. But I dropped everything. The Egregore project is just not going to happen for a while. I don't know when I'm going to pick that back up. I've been doing it, like, myself solo, getting just information, but we haven't, like, done anything group-wise yet. And I think this is because we're all busy with stuff. So that's on the back burner for now. I've been more focused on myself, which has been so much. It's helped me out so much. Being like a workaholic and a generator, and also someone that is creative, can be very taxing. Because you will literally know how to do everything that you need to do, but you'll be so stuck and not able to do everything because of XYZ happening as well. So I have a clean palette and a clear direction now. I've also been cleansing my bracelets and crystals outside too. Where did my, oh, there they are. I was about to say, where did my opal go? I love my opal, dude. I love opal stones. They are like the prettiest thing. Like, I know everyone likes amethyst, but I think opal's better than amethyst. If I had a bathtub made out of opal, dude, I would be in there way more than amethyst, dude. Now, we're just talking about normal, just like the rainbow opal, dude. I love the fire opal is crazy, but opal itself, I just love this thing so much. It has so much beauty in it. I've had this forever too. I've had this for about a year, and I just love this thing so much. I've taken so much care of it. I've cleansed it so much. I love it. Yeah. Also, it's at the perfect angle because the sun literally shines through the window. This room reminds me of my childhood house because the window is right where the sun rises and where it falls, so I get the best view of the sun. I get the best view of the moon, and I'm just holding the opal, and it's just, it has the yellow light in it on my hand. Basically, it's just, I love this, dude. I love life. I really do. I don't care how hard life gets. I'll always like enjoy being around it. Well, damn. Hold on. That's a. Am I around it? No, I'm centered it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't think about it. Stop. Like trying to like add everything together. But welcome in, Amy. Unfortunately, Amy, I'm about to get off. I gotta go do some things real quick, but I will be back later. But yeah, hopefully you all have a beautiful rest of the day. I'll try to be back in around 4 to 5 hours. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do the things I'm gonna be doing, but I'll be back up here, and then later tonight I'm gonna try and go live on TikTok. I'll make like a post about it on YouTube before I do anything. But yeah, thank you all so much for bro, I'm already losing my mind. Thank you so much for being here. I need to get yogurt. No, but thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for the love, the likes, the proverbations, the talks, the energy, the donations, whether energetic or financial. I truly appreciate love them all, and I love each and every one of you all to the moon and back. I'm tongue twisted. I love you all so much to the moon and back, tenfold and forever, and I will see you all later.